tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
We get multiple 50s across the state today during the afternoon, but we might need to pull out the Christmas music this weekend. I'll explain coming up.
Plus, Garrett has your national forecast, all that and more as this Thursday, April 5th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts right now.
It's Wednesday night on ISU TV, broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. And this is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television program brings you the weather from around the country to the heart of Iowa. The ISU Meteorology Department team of forecasters keep you ahead of the storm. From Iowa's most trusted weather team, this is Size Eyes on the Skies.
All right, welcome back to Size Eyes, now enjoyed by the Cubs fanatic Caleb Wood. Well, Caleb, today was the Iowa Cubs opener out there, and they definitely had a great day for their first day of baseball.
Yeah, I think it was about 53 or 54 degrees down in Des Moines tonight. Perfect ball game weather. This afternoon, they also have a doubleheader tonight. Round 2 is coming up, I think, about 7 o'clock tonight, so pretty soon.
They definitely needed to have a doubleheader today because the weather, as you say, is subject to change.
It is. Weather is subject to change, and it's going to change big time heading into the weekend. But let's take a look at what happened this afternoon across the state first. So let's go through the past 6 hours here on satellite and radar. We had some light rain showers moving across central and eastern portions of the state, but this is mostly vertigo, which means that it was evaporating before it actually touched the ground. So I don't expect many accumulations coming out of these little showers this afternoon here. Just mostly cloud cover. As we advance, right now it's 49 degrees in Ames, 53 down Des Moines, but again we have a stark contrast across the state with mid to lower 30s across the northern tier of the state, and we have those mid-50s going all the way from Council Bluffs through Ottumwa. So again, where it snows on the ground, it's keeping the temperatures a lot cooler than it would be otherwise. Back to you, Matt.
All right, and now it's time for tonight's weather story. On this date, very strong southwesterly winds gusting as high as 63 miles per hour. Algona brought warm temperatures to much of Iowa, topping out at 89 degrees at Glenwood, Shenandoah, and Sidney. The strong winds resulted in numerous wildfires and considerable soil erosion, with vegetation still dormant. However, heavy snow will fall across northwestern Iowa just 2 days later on April 7th. All this happened, I believe, back in 2000 or 2001. And now here's the great Garrett Hyde with a look at what's going on around the country.
Thank you, magnificent Matt. As Caleb alluded to as well earlier, we did have that really nice strong divide through the state. Not only is that through Iowa, it is throughout most of the nation as well. I'll have more on that coming up.
All right, welcome back. Now here's the great Garrett Hyde with a look at what's happening around the nation.
Thank you again, magnificent Matt. Wow, as Caleb has said and I mentioned a little bit earlier, we do have that really nice strong divide through most of the central United States between cold and warm. That trend is going to continue for a lot of the states. For the Midwest here, we kind of see those 39 degrees up in Minnesota, 53 in Des Moines, and down south we get even warmer. Let's go ahead and take a track over to the Northeast. As they are still north of that line. 20s for most of the more northern parts, and they're still hitting about 40s as we move further south into New York and whatnot. Pushing down south, we do have more the 60s, 50s, 73 over in Dallas, 56 over in Charleston. There we go. 59. Can't talk today. I have had that struggle all day today. Anyway, moving off over the west, Phoenix, 91 degrees. I think they might have the high for everybody. Bakersfield, 80, and as we move back up north, it's going to be dropping back down. We do have 66 in Salt Lake City, and up north, Billings, 23. Like I said, a real sharp divide between temperatures. I don't know what's going on. Wow, okay. So part of this is due to this kind of a good picture of the upper atmosphere kind of shows you is kind of the collision of the two air masses together, where where we can see that line through. Let's go back one. Oh my goodness, struggling today. There we go. We do see that line. We do have those warmer temperatures starting to come back up, and then as we move into the weekend, it's going to be a little bit warmer off to the west as well, but over to the east. Cannot talk today at all. Over to the east is going to be dripping down a little bit. Those temperatures are going to be dropping as well. Satellite and radar is pretty quiet for most of the nation anyway. Right here we do have some pockets of rain showers, as Caleb mentioned. Most of that we didn't quite see hit the ground, but over off to the west, we do have an additional amount of rain starting to develop and cloud cover starting to form as it crosses over the Rockies into the central plains. Futurecast for you as well into the Friday evening. We do have that low pressure. I am on the wrong side. Low pressure starting to develop a little bit. And it's going to bring, as we move into the weekend, going to bring more of the rain and snow chances off to the east as well. But we did have a high pressure start to develop and move into the area early Saturday morning for at least part of the central United States, and will continue to move through Saturday evening as well. Forecast temperatures across the nation is a lot colder as that air mass started to push down, and we get a lot more cooler temperatures up north. Minneapolis for highs 23 degrees. You thought it was spring, not so much. Kansas City about 40, and down south we are in the 80s, 60s as well. As of today was the first start of the Frozen Four tournament, and that is in St. Paul, Minnesota at the XL Energy Center. We already have one game start already this evening, but the second one starting up right about 9:30 degrees. Puck drop conditions are going to be snowing with temperatures right around that freezing point, and when that ends, it should be right around 29 degrees, and we still have a possible chance of snow as well. For that city, though, we do have pretty cool conditions for Friday and into the weekend as well, so most of the tournament is going to be seeing cold conditions and snow. And as we move into the work week, we're going to be warming up just a little bit into the mid-30s and possibly even the 50s by the end of next week.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. When does Ames, Iowa experience its first 70-degree high temperature? Is it A, March 24th, B, March 25th, C, March 26th, and D, March 27th? And we'll have your answer coming right up. Now let's have a look at the week ahead with our Cubs fanatic, Caleb Wood.
Thanks, Matt. Well, that answer will not be in my 7-day forecast, I can say that with good certainty. But snow is. I'll have more coming up. Welcome back to Size Eyes. Thank you for keeping the TV turned on us, not the Iowa Cubs pregame show. We definitely appreciate that. So take a look at some of our major headlines this week. Hello, winter. Winter's going to come back in full force tomorrow and through the weekend with some snow and cold temperatures. Along with those strong northwest winds, it's going to feel more like Christmas than just after Easter. And multiple inches of snow on Sunday. I'll have more details coming up with that. Currently outside in Ames, we're at 49 degrees, fairly mild compared to yesterday and a couple days ago. West winds at 8 miles per hour, and the feels like temperature is not much below the temperature because of those light winds. Across the state, again, we have those mid to upper 30s across the northern half of the state, with the 50s spreading through the south. So again, Ames right in the middle at 47 degrees. But tomorrow, most of this blue is going to come down and override most of the state, and I'll show you that coming up. With the wind speeds here, we have 10 miles per hour in Ames, 12 in Carroll. But notice how most of the winds are coming from the southerly direction in the eastern part of the state, but most of the winds are coming from the west-northwest, out west, in the western part of the state. And that's going to be a sign of things to come tomorrow as that we see that wind shift bringing in that colder air. Another picture of satellite and radar here. We have some mostly cloudy skies across most of the state with some slight sprinkles possible, but I don't expect much in terms of accumulation. And as we take a broader picture out here, we're going to see some of this energy coming off the Dakotas come through Iowa tomorrow and just clip the southwest corner of the state with some snow as pictured in Futurecast. So in Futurecast here, we see that tomorrow 11 a.m., Nebraska's getting some snow showers, maybe a few inches out there, and it's going to just hit portions of the southwest corner of the state tomorrow. But skies will clear behind that cold front, and temperatures are going to plummet into the teens tomorrow night. But we will have a sunny Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon outside to enjoy the first half of the weekend. But the second half of the weekend, we're in trouble with some snowfall. Now, much of the vorticity is down to the south. Some of the rotation in the atmosphere. That means we're going to get some more snow towards the north of that low pressure. And so we're going to have 3 to 5 inches, anywhere north of a line from Spencer, Fort Dodge, and Ames, north-northeast, with most of the rest of the state, including Des Moines, Creston, and Omaha in Nebraska, at 1 to 3 inches. So again, this is going to be a fairly major storm, I'd say, for early April. So keep your eyes to the skies with that one. And forecast lows tonight, 14 degrees in Ames, single digits in Mason City and Decorah at 8 and 9 degrees respectively, and 15 degrees down in Ottumwa. So bundle up if you're going out on your Thursday night. Forecast highs tomorrow, again, they're going to be mostly in the upper 20s, maybe 30 degrees, but I expect below freezing temperatures for everybody in the state. So in Ames tonight, we're going to have 26 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, and notice that wind is coming from the northwest, 7 to 15 miles per hour, a sign of things to come tomorrow, because that wind is going to keep us down at 28 degrees and mostly cloudy throughout most of the morning until the sun starts to peek out in the afternoon. But those winds will make it feel like the temperatures in the teens for most of the day tomorrow. Our extended forecast in Ames calls for 28 degrees and mostly cloudy tomorrow. A slight warm up when the sun comes back on Saturday, but again, 3 to 5 inches are expected in Ames on Sundays, especially in the afternoon and evening hours, before we start to moderate a little bit and maybe even push the 60s late next week.
Well, thank you, Caleb. Let's take a look at tonight's trivia question once again. When does Ames, Iowa experience its first 70-degree high temperatures? Because we sure haven't seen it yet. Is it A, March 24th, B, March 25th, C, March 26th, or D, March 27th? Well, guys, do you have any idea?
Well, I'm going to go with C, the 26th. That's my mom's birthday.
Okay.
Good things always happen on that day.
I'm going to go with A, because if you divide March 24th by 2, you get the 12th, which is my birthday.
Okay, well, that's some interesting logic there. Well, let's take a look. We actually had a Twitter poll for tonight's question, and our Twitter, our followers out there actually didn't really get this right. We had 33% either going with March 25th or 26th, whopping 22% with March 24th, and
They know what's up.
and 12% going with March 27th, and we'll show you what the answer is now. The answer was actually March 27th, guys, so D. And just think about that. And Caleb, we don't have a 70-degree high in the forecast at all, basically the next
honestly,
7 to 10
I think
days.
that 61 I showed on Wednesday, Thursday could be pushing it just a little bit. We might get there, but I would expect more in the 50s next week
If you
consistently.
want to see those 70s, go south.
That's what you have to
Yeah.
basically do right now, because it sure doesn't feel like spring yet here in Iowa.
But who's excited for the snow on Sunday? Anybody excited for that?
Nope.
It's
I
getting
want
ridiculous.
spring to come back. I am tired of it. I want it to be warmer. I want it in shorts.
You don't mind just one last round of snow?
No.
So it's gonna be like 2 weeks ago. It's gonna be the heavy stuff again, and on the bright side, it'll melt really fast. So
True.
Yeah, hopefully
So-
everybody gets to church early enough on Sunday morning to beat the snow coming down. But then leaving church and going to lunch could be a little more of a hassle, I think, Sunday.
Yeah.
I gotta work through that too. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
yeah. Well, we'll just have to deal with it, and hopefully that's the last snow we have this year.
And we'll just have to plow through.
Okay. Well, that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on our YouTube channel, on our Size YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Tuesday.